Welcome back, boys and girls, to the fastest podcast on the airwaves today, the Cat's Corner Podcast, with your host, the three-time world karate champion, the WCW legend, the WWE superstar himself, Academy Award-nominated actor, Mr. Ernest, the Cat Miller. I am your co-host with the most, Ray W. Don't mean to trouble you, Keziah, a.k.a. Big Shug, and on this microphone, we spit fire every week. And this week, before we get started, I want to give a...
We're Resite. Of course we offer all-inclusive site work. We're Resite. Of course we have a dynamic site crew. We're Resite. We have secure foundations. We're Resite. Of course we're good stewards. Resite redefines the way site work is done. Contact us at resite.com. It's re-site.com.
And his whole crew are nothing but first class. Thank you, Resite, for all you do for the Cat's Corner podcast. He cut me off earlier before I could say anything. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the Cash App $ Cat's Corner podcast.
Ray.
Now that we've got all that out of the way, Big Cat, how was the WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada?
Ray, first thing, slow down, brother. You're going to have a fucking heart attack. Slow down.
Have no heart. I'm going to get a heart attack. Trying to get us on the air.
You moving too fast. Just relax. Take a deep breath. Look, go with me. Meditate. In and out.
The people that come and tune in to hear me breathe.
One more time.
They tune in to hear me talk to you about Las Vegas, baby.
Listen, bro. One more time. In and out. Now relax, baby. This is a comfortable, relaxing moment here. You understand what I'm saying? We're not trying to blow out with anybody. Ain't no heat between us.
Not between us.
Well, just slow down, baby.
I got a little heat, but we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that.
Okay, all right. So what's up, Big Ray? What's up, Big Ray? Vegas was off the hook.
I heard it was. I wasn't there.
Vegas was off the hook, man. Everything went on was all Vegas. It was big. It was bigger than big. You know how you go to Vegas? You don't buy anything small. Everything is big. It's all too much. It's just like a bunch of greedy people locked in one room, and everything they get, they want too much of it. That's what Vegas was like. The women overdressed, the men overdressed. You know, everything, you overpay for everything. Let me tell you, I had a great time, though. I had a great time. Because WrestleCon and WrestleMania, was the highlight.
A lot of people there to see the Cat. A lot of people there to see all the other wrestlers at WrestleCon. I heard it was the biggest WrestleCon ever.
Listen, bro, people was everywhere. Everywhere, man. They were everywhere. I had a good time, man. I got to meet fans from England, from Pakistan. I got to meet fans from Japan. It was a guy stopped us. And I was just standing in the hallway waiting to go back to my room. And this guy was Japanese guy. Couldn't speak any English. Yeah, I'm not going to do that with him. That's not right, Big Ray. But he stopped. He said, "Oh, the cat." And he had an arm. He had his hand filled with all kinds of stuff that he had purchased in the WrestleCon. You know, he put everything down, bowed to me, and asked to take a picture. I was really blessed to know that even from Japan, the Cat's got fans.
You charged him $50, I hope.
I didn't charge him nothing because it was in the hall. I wasn't at work. Now between the hours of 9 and 2, you had to pay $50 to see me.
I was gonna say you ain't getting nothing for free if I'm around.
Man, so when I was there too, I every now and then I get up just to walk around and enjoy the scenery. And I got to see Mike Tyson.
Oh, Mike.
I've never met Mike Tyson in person before. But I got to walk up, man. These people standing in line, but then they had him like behind the curtains. Everybody behind curtains. Everybody else they had sitting at a table. You walk into the room, you may have You may have one wrestler here, then down to the next table, another wrestler. You had Sting sitting at a desktop. So you had all these wrestlers, but they had Mike Tyson like surrounded with security guard and bodyguards. And
Yeah, it was more like a personal meet and greet with him. Like you had to pay a little extra to meet and greet with him.
Yeah. You pay extra to meet all these guys, Sting, everybody. You had to pay extra. But with Mike Tyson was almost like he had bodyguards. So when I peeked in and the line was so long, he would just sign an autograph, man. And it's a sad moment there for a minute there, because when I looked at Mike, a guy was taking a picture with him, and the guy turned as they finished clicking the picture, and he started to talk with Mike, and he started to say something like, "You remember when we got together, had lunch?" And he started talking about things they had done together. Apparently, they already met before. So at this moment, Mike turned around, looked him right in the face, and said, "Who are you?"
kind of reminded me of Ric Flair.
No, not like that. He said like he was, and Mike said it like he was really, like, "Who are you?" I do not know who you are.
Not remember, like
he couldn't remember, and to me it's just like it kind of reminded me of the way people were just taking money, rushing people in, take a picture, sit down for a second, get out of there. It was almost like, you remember that, what's that beach movie where these kids wanted to have a party and the guy they were going to use the beach house died, and they end up carrying the body around so they can have
Weekend at Bernie's.
You know how they just carried the body and propped them up just to be there?
Yeah.
It does look like what they were doing with Mike Tyson, because it's not funny, because it don't seem like Mike was having a good time. Don't seem like he enjoyed that part of it.
Well, he probably, like everybody else, he committed to come. They paid him. Now he's there and he's miserable.
But he didn't act. He did not act like he was miserable. It was more that he was just like unaware of things.
Well, he could have been on some of his own weed. He could be out there.
Now that's what somebody else told me. Said, he smoked a lot of weed. And a question like that, if somebody obviously they know me, if they talking to me and they bringing up memories and they bringing up times we spent together, we face to face, I'm not going to look them right in the eyes and say, "Who are you?"
Yeah. And chances are you're going to remember, because you don't drink or smoke or do any kind of drugs. So you ain't got nothing that's keeping your memory from working. Now, you bad on names and shit. I'll give you that. You don't remember people's names.
I don't. When I used to do karate and teach hundreds, and I can say that I've taught hundreds of kids, thousands of kids. And when I was really good with names, but then there was so many kids just in and out, man, that you could not remember a name. So I've never been good on remembering name, but I remember faces. Like I've seen a couple of fans in Vegas that I've seen last year and the year before, and they were coming from other countries. And I was like, I remember the face. I didn't remember the name, but I remember the face.
Well, who was some of the people you met this time that you didn't meet when you and I were in LA, and then last year when you were in Philly? Anybody that sticks out in your mind that you thought, well, besides Mike Tyson, that, hey, man, I got to meet this person. They were so cool. They remember me from my matches and blah, 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 blah. Anybody famous?
They all were famous. You don't get invited to these things unless you're somebody in some world of sports. Like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was cool. We hung out. He saw me. He saw me. He was happy to see me. He had a long line that I had a camera crew follow me around. So I got all this footage. So I walked up to him and said, "What's up, man? How you doing?" He looked, "Cat, how you doing?" He stopped in line and we talked for a few minutes. He said, "Yeah, man, we're going to have a drink." I said, "I don't drink, but hey, I maybe meet you at the bar." So it was good. I got to meet him, man, and who surprised me. And when I met this guy, man, and this guy right here was this nice guy. He on TNA, Henry, what's his name? Henry
I
new guy,
believe in Joe Henry.
Joe Henry. Yeah.
You say his
Yeah.
name and he will appear.
This guy right here got charisma. Listen, I talked to him, and he was such a nice young talent. I knew
He's the
nothing.
TNA World Heavyweight Champion currently.
I knew nothing about him, but we got some footage on him. We're gonna put this out on the Cat's Corner. I got to interview him. I got to interview JR. I talked to
You're
Ron.
off. You don't even work here.
I talked to Ron Simmons. I got to meet
Damn.
him. Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Crew. Bobby always, every time you see me, Bobby is really nice. Bobby is really nice.
I heard they were trying to jump you.
You gonna let me tell the story, or you want?
I just heard from the I heard that the Hurt Syndicate was trying. They hurt people.
No, they didn't hurt me. They have a lot of respect for me. But the story is, so as I saw Shelton, I shook his hand. Then I saw MVP. He came over, shook my hand. And then Bobby came my way. So I reached over in the middle of to shake his hand. And the first thing Bobby said, hey, let's jump his ass. And I looked at Bobby. I said, Bobby. Everybody started laughing. I said, Bobby, I thought you was the nice guy out of the bunch. He said, yeah, but I'm just getting used to hurting people. So we had a great time, man. We had a great time, man. The great Muda, he was there. He was there. I mean, he was there. We had a good time with him. It was really, really fun time, man. But one person that came in, man, that we could talk about over and over and over again. I was a little hesitant about doing this contest.
Right.
Taking someone that I didn't know, but really was into the Cat's Corner podcast. And turning this guy into not a fan, but now a friend of the Cat's Corner podcast.
A super fan that became a friend.
And this guy right here, man, let me tell you, this guy was the nicest guy you ever wanted to be around. He know everything. Very smart guy. Very, very smart guy. And so helpful. I saw him. I got a story about, I'm not going to think of his name now, but his name was Jim. Yes, sir. Jim
Powers.
Jim Powers. Jim Powers walked by. Jim walked by. And when Jim walked by me, I didn't recognize him because he just looked like an older wrestler. Mm-hmm. But he looked like he was kind of lost. He was walking around like he was lost in the crowd. So the young guy that was filming me, I asked, did he know that guy? He said, no, he didn't know him. So I said, I don't know him either. But this super fan that we have, now friend of the store, friend of the show, said that Jim Powers. And I said,
I think him and Paul Roma were tag team partners.
Yeah, so Jim worked with us. He worked with me. Man, this dude had the best body you ever wanted to see on him.
Brick house at one time.
Listen, this guy can jump. He was the nicest guy to me because he had been in the business for a very long time, even when I got in. So I had a match with this guy. He was one of the first guys I had a match with. And he was just so nice and easy to work with and gave me some critical advice. When I say critical, it's something that could either hurt you or break you, and this right here, no, it can hurt you and break you. But what it did, the information he gave me, he said, listen to it, but don't be afraid of it. And that means if you're going to do a spot, don't doubt yourself. Go ahead with the spot and finish the spot. Don't doubt yourself, because if you do, it could kill you. But if you go ahead and complete the spot and land on your back,
commit and go through it. Don't half-ass it.
Yeah, land on your back. It'll be okay. You'll get the pop. So anyway, he gave me that advice, man. He was a good guy to go with. But anyway, this guy Jim seemed to be a little lost at times. Wandering around.
He's older, man. He's got to be.
No, he's not. He's only 4 years older than I am. I talked to him.
Like I said, he's old.
You're a fat one. How about that?
Well, I don't care. Hey, the camera adds 5 to 10 pounds, but I'm good.
This camera didn't add shit. Those 5 pounds, I'm looking at a there. But anyway, so Jim seemed to be lost at a few times. Nathan, you know, I see the Cat's Corner super fan, now friend of the show, helping this guy around. I mean, just helping him around. He was helping guys. He was out there helping. And now think about this. He grew up as a big wrestling fan. Now he got to hang out with wrestlers
Living the dream.
and some of the wrestlers are older. But let me tell you something. He was so nice to them, respectful. I mean, he was trying to lend, he was trying to help them to the table, help go get stuff for them, patronizing them in all kinds of ways. He was a really good, and he represented the show really well. So, I'm gonna bring him on and we're gonna have a conversation with him.
Okay, bring him
and
on.
let him talk to himself. There he is, right there. There's number one Cat fan. What's up, Justin? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Big Sugar Ray, good to talk to you.
Man, good to talk with you, Justin. Do me a favor. Can you turn your camera sideways and get you the big angle on it? That way people can see you a little bit better.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on.
It should just click as soon as you turn it to the right.
No, I think you got the lock on.
If you got the lock on, we done. Yeah, go back the other way.
You can go back to where you was at. You can go back to where you was at.
Yeah, you got the screen lock. You got it screen locked. That's okay.
That's good. That's good right there. So
we'll just keep you centered up. So how was your experience with the Cat at WrestleMania 41? Did you enjoy yourself?
I had a great time. Going into it, I wasn't sure. I had a feeling the Cat and I were going to get along, but I was always thinking that maybe I could, bring a friend along just in case we didn't get along. But as soon as I met the Cat, we clicked right off the bat. We got along really, really well. And it was awesome being in Vegas.
So how long you been a wrestling fan?
Well, I was telling the Cat that I really haven't been following at all in the last 25 years, because once WCW went under is pretty much when I stopped watching. So I've kind of been a little bit out of the loop. I told the Cat that going in to WrestleMania that I didn't even really know what the card was. I came out to Las Vegas to hang out with the Cat because he was one of my favorites when I was watching back in 98, 99 WCW.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
well, so that's a unique perspective. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to hear, oh man, yeah, I'm a big Roman Reigns fan or a big CM Punk guy or whatever. But that's cool. That's cool.
Ray, why would you expect that, Ray? And you don't know these guys.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're following the Cat's Corner podcast, we talk about all things wrestling and combat sports and karate and movies, and it's a matriculation of a lot of things, but it's mainly about wrestling because you're a wrestler, and we keep up with current products and whatnot. But that's cool. Now, did you enjoy yourself out there meeting some old school wrestlers and some new school wrestlers? Have you found yourself wanting to maybe watch the product now, maybe get back into it?
Well, I'll tell you this. One thing and this is a testament to the Cat. When I was over at his booth, people were flocking to our booth to meet the Cat. They wanted to talk to the Cat. And one of the things anytime anybody came over to the booth to meet the Cat, the first thing that Ernest did was say, "Hey, I want you to meet my friend Justin." He made a concerted effort to make sure that I met all of the people that he was friends with, that I grew up watching. He made a concerted effort to make sure that I got to meet them, shake their hand, and talk to them for a little bit. And I think that's just a testament to the kind of guy the Cat is. And man, he was so funny. I never laughed so much in my life just hanging around with him. And having Sonny Ono there with us was great too. I got some great footage. Yeah, I gotta send
they play off each other pretty well. They have a good chemistry between them.
Hey, I got good chemistry with everybody. Yeah, hey, Justin, tell him about me almost getting in a fight with Michael Jackson.
I got that on footage, Cat. I got that tape. I got that recorded on my phone. I didn't know that you were going to get in a fight with him, but he was challenging you to a dance off. I remember. I have that
where that dance off have turned to a wrestling match now. So now he wants me in the ring.
Oh, where? When?
Toronto.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do it in Canada.
Well, who was the wrestler that was the nicest to you and that you liked the most and you got along with the most outside of Ernie the Cat Miller?
I mean, everybody was except Ernest. You remember Honky Tonk Man?
Oh shit!
You guys lost me?
No, I'm with you. It's just like when you said Honky Tonk Man, I can imagine how direct and kind of rude he was.
Yeah, of all the guys that I met, everyone was nice, but maybe I caught the Honky Tonk Man at a bad moment or something. But he didn't seem like he was in a very good mood at all. Me and Kat were joking about that, but I went to say hi to him a couple. Yeah, and he snubbed me a few times, and Kat was laughing about that. But it's good. But everybody that I met was great. Yeah, the Michael Jackson guy. I don't know what his name was, but he was great.
Santana.
Right. Yep.
He
was great.
That kid's good too. He does a lot of stuff in the ring. He does mimic Michael Jackson in the middle of his wrestling thing, but he can get up on that top rope and come off of there and do some amazing stuff.
But Jackson, you met Ric Flair. Rick was awfully nice to you.
Yeah, Rick, I don't know if I didn't talk to him that much. I had met Rick in the past, I remember, like 10, 12 years ago. But yeah, I think we shook hands or so, for like, just said hi and shook his hand. But yeah, he was a nice guy. Who else was? I'm trying to think. I mean,
did you meet big sexy Kevin Nash?
I saw there was a huge line to meet Kevin Nash. He was kind of to the side of where our booth was, but one of the nicest guys that I vaguely remember him in WCW was one of the Young Dragon guys. I forget what his name was. Kat, you know who he was though. He was right next to him.
Jimmy Yang.
Yeah, Jimmy Yang. He was a good dude. And then we had who else? And what's funny? I didn't even realize that there was an upstairs. Like the first day that I met you, Kat, there was an upstairs at the convention. That's where Bret Hart was, Lex Luger was. And I didn't even know about that for the first day until the second.
I know. Remember when you walked away, I told you with my camera guy, come on, we went and had conversation with all those guys.
Yeah. I got to shake Luger's hand just briefly. Great guy. But I didn't get to see Bret Hart. I had met Bret a while back, like 10 years ago. Got my photo with him. But there was a whole separate.
Did you go to WrestleCons and stuff like that to meet these people? Is that where you go?
So when the old timer like the old school guys come around New England, I'll usually try to go to those. I hadn't been to one in maybe 5 years or so. But I was telling the Cat that he needs to come around to New England more and come to these. But I'll say, going to this convention in Las Vegas, I mean, I met everybody really that I want to meet. They were all there in Las Vegas, so I don't even have any reason to go to them anymore. A lot of my favorite wrestlers that I grew up watching, they're not alive anymore, unfortunately. There was a couple that I was hoping would show up, but they weren't there. But really, the Cat was on the top of that list, and getting to hang out with him was that was the VIP experience for me. I was telling you, Cat.
What about the night show? What about the night show we went to? We was up to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning watching wrestling.
It felt like 8 a.m. because we're 3 hours ahead, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so we didn't get back till 5 in the morning, which felt like 8 in the morning for us. But yeah, that show was great. We were right in the front row, you and your film crew, and I think 3 or 4 occasions some guys did a couple high spots over the top rope and landed right on our feet. So we had our like blood. And guy spit, drooled on my shoe. I remember. That was great. That was great. You got to do the commentary. I gotta find that that show on YouTube whenever so I can check it out.
Hey, the show was sold out, man. It surprised me, man. It was sold out, and I had a good time doing it.
And you had David, the guy that was married to Jennifer. What's that singer's name?
Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson. David Tonga. Otonga. That's Otonga. David Otonga. And who was the other dude?
He just one of their commentators. I didn't
know him. I didn't know him. I knew David Otonga, but I knew you.
But the guy was with Cass. He has a podcast with him and Anthony Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony.
Oh,
yeah. So they got a podcast together.
Melo don't miss.
So listen, man. It was great hanging with you. I really enjoyed it, man. And what you doing over there? You know who you remind me of? You remind me of Eddie Haskell.
Who?
Eddie
Is that
Haskell. You probably
Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, you probably don't know it. Real nice, easygoing guy, but every now and then he'll try to stick me in my back. Just like the thing when we saw Miss Jacqueline, and you kept saying that was not Miss Jacqueline.
It was not her. It was not her. And I felt bad. I remember when you couldn't find your glasses, we got an Uber. And I was waiting around for you for 10, 15 minutes. The Uber driver was getting pissed off at me because we were supposed to go to
my world.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, let's just go. And I texted the cat. I was like, hey, I had to leave without you. And that was like the first day I got there. I felt bad that I left the cat on his own because we were supposed to take an Uber together. And so the cat gave me.
You didn't leave the cat. The cat was already there.
I got there and I was looking around for like 20 minutes trying to find the place. And by the time I got there, you were already there before me. So you beat me. You beat me to the place.
So what part of New England are you from, Justin?
I'm from Boston. Yeah, I grew up in just outside of Boston. Born and raised there.
West Newbury, like John Cena?
Jesus. Sorry. West Newbury is probably that's about like an hour away from me. So that's more like central Mass. I live more like near the Boston area.
Okay.
But I know, Danvers is probably a half hour away from me. I'm kind of near Cambridge, Boston. I'm like 15 minutes out of Boston.
Yeah, I love it. I love Boston, man. Boston's a great city.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's get to this right now. Tell me your thoughts. You know, we watched WrestleMania together, right?
We only watched the second night. I don't even think we watched the first night, Kat. Did we?
I watched the first night in the in that same place. They had a live viewing WrestleMania viewing area. So they had a bunch of wrestlers there. Me, Bobby, what's his name? Not Bobby Curtis, but
Bobby Lashley.
Not Bobby Lashley, but the Boogeyman, he was there.
Yeah. No, it's him.
So we got to watch it, man. And let's just talk about the second day then. The one that I know you watched, because you sitting right next to it. What did you think about it?
Well, I will say that I think it exceeded my expectations. Like I said, I haven't really been following for a while. I would watch with a friend of mine some of the WrestleManias when they would come on. I think the last one I saw was probably like 5 years ago, and I didn't really like that one too much. Kat, I think you and I kind of have a similar view on the product these days, but I will say it was better than I thought it was going to be. I think that opening match, it was that triangle match with the female wrestlers. I think it was
Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair.
Yeah, they put on a good show. I was very impressed. And when I think back from the days, like the earlier days of women's wrestling. They've come a long way because these girls can do a lot in the ring.
Hey, to me, that was the best match on the whole card.
I agree. I completely agree. So that first match, I liked the final match with Cena and Cody Rhodes. I thought that was good. But
remember what I said when as soon as that match was over? What did I say? I asked, why did they bury Cody Rhodes like that?
They damn sure did. They made him look weak as fuck.
Yeah, why did they have whoever wrote that did a terrible job? Because first of all, you had a rapper, Travis Scott, to jump in the ring and face off with a wrestler. He's supposed to be running his ass out of there because he's afraid of Cody Rhodes, the WWE World Champion, not standing face to face, chest to chest. So I question that move a little bit.
it happened right in the middle of the match too, which didn't make any sense to me. But
it made no sense. And, and he had a receipt coming because in Elimination Chamber in Toronto, he jumped in the ring with the final boss, The Rock, and John Cena, and he slapped Cody so hard that it busted Cody's eardrum because he didn't pull the punch at all. He just fucking slapped the shit out of him, busted his eardrum, blacked his eye. His eye was messed up, his orbital socket. So he had a receipt coming, and all he got was the Crossroads, which is his finishing maneuver, which doesn't, it wasn't nothing. And then
you know why it didn't look right to me? If you go to any kind of show that these rappers are doing, if you jump on stage with them, what do you think happened?
Security beating the hell out of you.
They don't talk to you. They don't stare you down. They beat the hell out of you. So you mean to tell me a writer gonna write a story to where this guy who is not a wrestler, not supposed to be there, come slide in the ring and face off
bullshit hardcore belt that ain't even. What belt was that? I mean, like, what belt was that? Anyway.
And I said Vince McMahon would have never let something like that happen. If you notice, when Mike Tyson came in, he did not put Mike Tyson over.
He let Stone Cold shove him, and then they got in a big melee.
They got in a big fight. He never really damaged their goods, to me. And then I don't think Cody Rhodes should have gave that belt up like that to John Cena.
I'm so disappointed in the fans booing him, dude. It was just it's so fickle. The fans were so fickle. I mean, they hated Cena, and now they cheering Cena and booing Cody Rhodes.
That's why we always said fuck the fans, because the fans gonna want what they want, and it's not always right for them. They listen. How you gonna boo Cody that been there the whole time?
Yeah,
who carrying the belt the whole time?
Carried the belt for 378 days. Not
only is John Cena getting on his way out
part-time.
Yeah, he's part-time
and fixing to be no time. As soon as his 27 dates are up, he's done. He's got 27 more dates with the company, and it's over.
So that's what I'm saying. How can the fans boo the guy that give them the most? Because fans are fucking dumbasses.
I know, they're fickle.
Fickle my ass, they dumbasses. But the thing is right here, people, and wait a minute, they should have been upset that The Rock didn't show up.
Right.
Made no sense. He was part of the whole storyline and never showed up. Then he comes on Pat McAfee yesterday and says, "Well,
hey, we ain't talking about Pat McAfee. We ain't giving him no."
Why? I love Pat McAfee. What's wrong with Pat?
Does he talk about the Cat's Corner?
Well, he could. I bet he would if we got on his show. I bet he'd talk about it.
What you mean? I know him. I just met this dude. He know about this show. Well, I talked to him. I talked to him. He gave me his phone number. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying right now.
He's as down to earth as any human on this planet.
Who?
Pat.
Have you ever met Pat?
No, but I know people that have met him and said he's just
Tell me somebody I met him that say he was a cool guy.
You.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So
Anyway,
so we're talking about this right here, man. The Rock did not show up. The Rock is supposed to be a boss. This whole thing was probably created, written around the Rock. That
The
would have
final
been
boss.
so. That would have been so much better, and maybe you could taste it a little bit better. Maybe you can swallow this defeat that Cody Rhodes had to eat if The Rock was part of that match. If Rock had came in like that and hit Cody Rhodes or something, Cody had a reason now to fight back.
And a reason to lose the belt because the odds were overwhelming against him.
But you know what? I heard the old saying, was there fire? Was there smoke? There fire.
Absolutely.
And this might be the down comment of a big tree in the forest. You hear the trees crack again. Now trees are falling everywhere. The Rock didn't show up to work. And this is the major pay-per-view. Major pay-per-view.
It's their Super Bowl. It's the best pay-per-view they're gonna have. And they ended it crazy.
So with The Rock not showing up, he didn't even say anything about it on social media or nothing. I think it's something going on. There's a problem in the kitchen somewhere.
I don't know, man. I just
listen. I worked there. And let me tell you something. When you are part of a team, go ahead. What'd you say, Justin?
No, I was just going to ask Big Sugar Ray if he thinks the product is better now than it was, say, like 25 years ago. Are you a bigger fan of it now than you were back then, or what?
No, it'll never be bigger than the Monday Night Wars, in my opinion. When The Rock and Stone Cold and the NWO and all that was at its peak, to me, that to me is the tipping point. It's building back to that now. The popularity is there, but it's still not where it was. You had 8 to 10 million people a night watching that stuff.
Yeah.
Now you're lucky to get 3 million to watch it. So
yeah,
that's the thing. And sometimes you get 5 depending on the card.
See, back in the old days, wrestling was wrestling. A pro wrestling show was a pro wrestling show. Now, wrestling is all about TV. It's a TV show now.
right.
So you're not gonna get the 8 million, 9 million, because it's most people just watch the highlights.
And in its defense, 25 years ago, you didn't have that much competition for eyeballs on the screens too. And you've got people watching on the phones. You got people watching on the tablets.
Ray, Monday night. You know what was on Monday night? The
Monday Night Football,
show.
half the year, Monday Night Football was on.
That's
but
what
other
I'm
than
saying.
That was your only competition.
That you said like that's the only thing out there. Football was beating everything. Monday Night Football ain't nothing on TV anymore. What do you watch on Monday nights?
I watch wrestling.
What about you? What do you watch? What kind of love story do you watch? Jesse?
You watch The Bachelor.
No, I mean I watch. I follow the NBA a good amount now, but I don't watch a whole lot of TV in general. But yeah, I used to be glued.
Pull for the Celtics.
I do. I wasn't. They're gonna. I think. Hey, they're the defending champions.
Correct.
I think they're picked to win this year. Kat, you follow the NBA, right?
I follow the Lakers. I watched the Lakers last night just destroy somebody. Who are they playing right now?
They played the Timberwolves last night.
The Timberwolves. And those guys were going on. LeBron James is the leader of all
towards
leaders.
the end. If you watched it all the way to the end like I did, it was almost 12:30 before it was over with Eastern. It got kind of tight. It got down to about 7 points, and then they ended up winning by 9.
Listen, tight. A couple of numbers behind, it's still a loss.
Oh yeah, but they had to win that, or they've been down 2-0.
And it's hard to come back. It's hard to come back. So, so I'm watching basketball only when the Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan. LeBron
I'm
James
bummed.
kind of guy.
Cat, I'm bummed that there was no basketball court in that resort we were at, because I wanted to play you 1-on-1. I think I could take you. I think I
All
can.
right. I'd like to see that. That would be good.
Well, look, listen, I'm just glad. Hey, Justin, I'm just glad you're a friend of the podcast. I'm so happy to have you. And I mean, listen, I had a great time. We got to go have dinner. You got to meet my wife. You got
your
to
wife?
meet. You got to meet.
in Kalita Sweet. She's a great lady.
Oh, she's a great one. Yeah, we talked for a while. Very intelligent, beautiful, kind woman, Cat. You're a lucky man. She was great.
You got to question her taste in men, but other than that, she's a sweetheart.
Well, I know your wife tasted, man, fried chicken.
Big Tasty. That was my nickname in college. But go ahead. It's because I ate at McDonald's a lot and they had the Big Tasty.
He's losing weight though. You know, we got to look at something else, Big Ray. We got to come up with some other giveaways and stuff like that, man, and getting these people to hit up the cash out. Hit up the cash out, you know, at the Cat's Corner podcast, you know, subscribe, go to YouTube, subscribe to the Cat's Corner podcast. You know, we're looking to still grow. We're looking to still grow. And we got more going on. You know, I'm looking to take a fan actually to one of these SmackDown or Raws.
Yeah.
I'm looking to take a fan, sit right next to the cat. Sit right next to the cat and have that same. Let me tell you something. My man Justin will tell you, I took care of him like he was a little brother.
He did.
Wherever I went, he went.
If you got a popcorn, you got him a popcorn.
And he got to see these people up close. I mean, right there, me, Mark Henry, everybody just talking to each other.
You got to meet Mark Henry? That's my buddy. Love Mark.
I didn't see Mark Henry. I didn't see him.
You have went somewhere. Remember I told you me and the camera guys went up walking around. You met Ric Flair then, right? Because Rick was sitting right next to Mark Henry.
Yeah, Ric Flair. I saw Ric Flair walk by when I was getting a coffee in the morning. So I did see him. But yeah. I don't think I met him really.
Yeah, but we went upstairs and sat down and had a great conversation with him, and we got that on camera with my camera crew. As you know, we were walking around just talking to people. We got a lot of good name people over there on the footage.
Yeah, your camera guy's got to send me some of all those clips that he took. I have some on my phone, but I mean, there's so much to go through.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm glad you enjoyed the giveaway that we gave you. And listen, here at the Cat's Corner, man, we're glad to have you as a friend of the podcast.
Super fan.
That means a lot, Cat. And a big Shug. Sugar Ray, I wish you could have been there last week, and I wanted to meet you too, but maybe not.
My wife's uncle was in pretty bad shape, still is. He's now out of the hospital, but not a big deal. But it's one of them things that kind of kept me, and it was Easter, and you know we'd planned an Easter dinner and all this good stuff.
Man, shut up making excuses. I don't know if I could handle both of you guys at the same time, the same place.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Cause Justin, you got on my damn nerves sometimes too.
Now the truth comes out. He's turning heel. He's turning heel on you, Justin.
I told Justin, I said, that's my friend, Miss
Jackie.
What's that Jackie then we were talking about?
Miss Jackie. And he said, no, it ain't.
Was not her.
Her.
Yeah, you can't see. You must have been. That must have been when you lost your glasses. You couldn't see anything.
Can't see. I can't see up close, but I can see at a distance. That was Miss Jacqueline.
No, you just can't see. That was not her. I had seen her earlier in that convention, and the girl that you were pointing at, that was not her. I know it was.
Well, hey, you sure wouldn't bet. I put up $500 on it.
I put out my left hand. You didn't do that. The left hand shake. That's the most.
Bro, No, that's some bull. That left hand, some bull crap. He almost got punched in the nose when he put that left hand up.
Hey, don't beat up our only fan. Don't beat up the only fan we got.
Right.
But hey, but Justin, tell me some more high moments that you had with that you can remember. Tell me some more stuff.
I obviously going out to dinner, being the third wheel with you and your wife, getting to talk to her for a little bit was a highlight. The Michael Jackson guy, I thought was one of the highlights when he was challenging you to that dance off. I captured footage of that.
Did you see all the little girls that came around?
There was a whole crowd of people watching or like filming when that was going on.
Watching them dance. He's very entertaining.
Oh yeah.
I kind of you got to meet Adam Bomb. What do you think about him, Ralph?
Yeah, great guy. Yeah, we went out to that place for lunch near the casino. All these guys started coming, hanging out at the table. Yeah, it was Adam Bomb. Another guy, I think he was in the Mamalukes, I think, or WC. I can't remember. Bald-headed guy, I can't remember his name. Sonny Ono. Was great. Not Johnny Polo.
No, it was DeBull. Was it Johnny DeBull?
Oh, it might have been. He told me, but it might have been at the tail end of WCW, but I couldn't remember what his name was. But he looked familiar. Yeah, and then JBL hung out with us at the table.
Old Justin Bradshaw Layfield.
Yeah, I saw
John.
I saw
John Bradshaw. He's a hell of a guy. Smart.
You saw who? Hold up, Justin. You saw who?
Sabu. Sabu was at the table behind us. I don't know if you even knew he was there, but he was there. But everybody was flocking to the cat. They wanted to hang out with the cat. They wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
Table.
The cat's fun, man.
He came down. Let me tell you what was cool. When the cat saw this long line and I went in the room and it was Sting. Did you go? You didn't go with us in there either, did you?
No, I was. I don't know where I was, but I wasn't with you.
See, Sting trying to prove growing that beard out like that.
Listen, this is what you were doing, Jess. You were so into it. You were floating around. And I mean, that was fun. You were floating around, just enjoying yourself. And matter of fact, this guy enjoyed himself so much when it came time for him to go home, he didn't leave. He went.
Said, you know what? I'm staying.
I meant to bring that up. So one of the stupid things that I do, like whenever I go on trips, is I buy a round trip flight, and at the last day, I find out that everybody I'm with is staying later. And that's exactly what happened. So it was Sunday, and my flight was at 1:30 in the afternoon. I was like, Kat, what time are you leaving? He's like, I'm not leaving until like midnight tonight. And I was like, shit. So I tried to switch my flight, and they're like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to switch it. So I just went ahead and just no-showed my flight and bought another one that left at midnight, so I could hang out.
A direct flight.
Yeah, and that allowed me to watch the second half of WrestleMania, and we got to hang out. The cat and I hung out a lot for the rest of the day. So extra money, but it was well worth it. But that's the last time I buy. I'm just going, next time I go to any kind of trip or anything, I'm just buying a one-way ticket, and then I'll figure out when I want to leave and get my ticket, that day instead of
that'd be cool.
Flights in advance. But yeah. But yeah, I did. I just no-showed my flight and bought another one to hang out an extra whole day on Sunday, which was happy.
Was it like a 6-hour flight from there to Logan?
Yeah, about 6 hours. 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, brother. And I wanted to get you on, and we're gonna have Cody to kind of put this out and call you. We got to come up with a name for you, not just not the Cat's Corner podcast fan, because you're not a fan.
I'm not a Mark Cat. I told you, if you do not put me on Marks on the Mic, I want to be on the OG show, the original, the Cat's Corner.
Hey,
gotta put me on.
I was about to put you on Marks on the Mic to Ray. Ray saw what was going on, and he told me to put you on Cat's Corner.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, he had the Marks on the Mic background up, and I was like, man, he said he didn't want to be on that.
Big Ray, go ahead and shout us out, Big Ray.
Well,
Big Ray.
Another great podcast. We'd like to thank Superfan Justin for coming on with us. The
Anytime.
the WrestleMania 41 recap show brought to you by Recite. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We are on YouTube. We are on all the other platforms where you may get your podcast. And don't forget the Cash App is the $, the Cat's Corner podcast for your host, Ernest the Cat Miller, the 3-time world karate champion. I am Big Shug Keziah. We'll catch you next time on the Cat's Corner podcast.
Now, just before we go, what do you have to say to the fans or to anybody? Tell them what it meant to you to be able to win our first contest and enjoy it.
The only way I was able to do it was by liking, subscribing, and giving some of that money to the Cat's Corner podcast. He's got the best guests, the guests from the wrestlers from the golden era, the 90s. I gotta say, one of the last guests you had, Alex Wright, that was one of my favorite guests you had. Like, I think what I like most about this podcast is just hearing a lot about what these guys were like behind the scenes, like the behind the scenes stories that nobody knows about. That's what I really enjoy hearing. And you got a lot of guests that I grew up watching that I was a big fan of. And so, yeah, you guys, you got to give your money, and you might be able to get the same experience I did this year with the Cat next year. Although I hope the Cat chooses me next year for WrestleMania.
Louisiana, baby, it's gonna be good. I'm going to that one, regardless. I'm going to that one.
Well, you got to bring me, Cat. I'll just.
Hey, brother, you friends of the. We're gonna have to get a group of you guys. We want to call the Cat's Corner podcast. Listen, we might need you to take care of our, what do you call it, fans of the podcast.
To be the spokesman.
To be the spokesperson. Let them know it's good. So anyway, listen, I want to thank you for coming on, brother. And we'll be talking, man. And thanks for coming, Big Ray.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Until next time.
Big Ray.
Nice to meet you, brother. Y'all have a good one. Cat's Corner. Out.
All right. You